Hello, everyone, and welcome to the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And we are your local guys. Good job, Dom.
I got my computer up a little higher, so when I just go straight out in front, it doesn't work anymore. I got to remember to raise my finger up higher so that everybody who watch this on YouTube can see me point in the right direction.
Which clearly you forgot.
Yes, it's first couple days in this new elevated setup here. I like it though. It reduces the number of chins that I have, or actually kind of gives me one, which is good. Because normally it all just blends together at this point.
What screen are you looking at?
Obviously the one with the delusion filter on it. That's the filter that I prefer at this age.
So to move away from your chin, what do you think of my glasses? Does it make me look smarter?
I don't think anything could make you look smarter, Drew, to be honest with you.
How many pairs do I need to wear to look smarter?
You need like those ones that they wear in like National Treasure where there's like different lenses that you pop down and stuff for
That's what I need.
Different subjects.
All right.
There you go.
Go back to look.
Did your eyes finally go on you?
It's a slow decline.
Slow burn.
Low burn. Yeah.
Knock on wood. I still have like 20/20 vision. I've had it my whole life. Yeah. Knock on wood.
I'm just slowly declining. So I use readers like these.
Yeah.
My font on my phone shows me one letter at a time.
That it does.
Same with on my Kindle.
Yes, I've seen that before. I'm like, the hell is this? It's like a billboard on your phone.
You do what you got to do.
Hey, man. I don't know. I think you need to head down to America's Best and get some frames picked out. I don't know if those were right for your face. We'll leave it to YouTube. Leave a comment if you're watching this on YouTube. Let us know.
All right. I was just kidding. These are my real glasses.
All right. Those actually do make you look a little sophisticated.
Do they?
You had me fooled there for about 30 seconds.
I thought you were going to tell me they look like I was going to rob the Whammy Burger.
I don't even know what the Whammy Burger is.
Oh, you don't know the reference? Michael Douglas.
I know what's a movie. I can't think of it right now.
I can't think of the name either.
It's
Falling Down.
Okay. Yes, I know the exact scene that you're talking about. I just can't put my finger on it. So cool, man. How was we're here in April. Again, we got sidetracked with our city council project. That was a lot of time.
That was a lot of time.
It's
not out yet. It's coming out soon.
Yes, it'll be out soon.
Recording city council members is during campaign season is a little bit like herding cats.
I'd say a lot like herding cats.
A lot like, they're busy people.
We somehow managed to get them all in the same place on the same day, which
almost all,
I should say. Still a few out there, sniffing the catnip, having a good time.
We're trying to wrangle.
It's tough.
So that's where we have been, is we've been spending our time on a little project that will air 2 weeks, Tom?
No, man. May is like next week, dude. Yeah. May is the following. Not May is.
Yeah, today's the 20th. Today's 4/20.
Yeah, 4/20. Big day.
Willie Nelson's favorite day.
Snoop Dogg's favorite day.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people's favorite day out there.
See, the generational thing just showed itself, right? I pick Willie Nelson, you pick Snoop Dogg.
There you go. Well,
there you
go. I wonder what the kids these days would pick. I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know. So
it's marijuana is legal in New Jersey, so probably their neighbor.
Right? That's crazy. I can't believe marijuana is legal.
So, Dom, I know you have a couple shout outs.
Which about 10, 15 years ago, called into NJ.com on the radio. I called their radio station in the morning. And I also pitched this to the press, but I was going for jobs as a teacher. I'm like, look, this was when Atlantic City was more in rapper than it is now. This was before Don Guardian bought it out, and before the current mayor, it was doing his thing. And I said, hey, listen, you have all these abandoned casinos, all like 5 casinos that just shut down. I'm like, this is my idea to save Atlantic City. Make recreational marijuana only legal in Atlantic City. You have these giant buildings that are sitting empty that have huge vaults in them. You could grow, keep all the cash there. You'd be perfectly fine. You have places for people to stay. You have outlets for them to hang out and do their thing. And you would have, this was before weed was legal everywhere. I go, you would have lines down the expressway on the opening day of people trying to get into Atlantic City to come smoke legal weed.
It's a great idea, Dom.
So I actually pitched this one time to a state senator, Bob Summers. He was from up north. He came into Angelo's when I was bartending. He's like, oh, I like this idea. But before he was leaving, I said to him, hey, listen, everyone's going to do the legal weed thing. That's cool. What you need to do is make growing hemp legal, because the industrial properties of hemp are the same as oil. I'm like, you need to do that. You need to do that. And he looked at me. He's like, oh. So, 3 months later, I get an email from his, via his
people.
People. That's a good way to put it, Drew. That's why you're the political connected guy. I get an email from his people, and it's a whole draft of this legislation as to how to become a legal hemp farmer in New Jersey. And it talked all about
really?
He totally took my idea and has, you can now legally grow hemp in New Jersey, and in it passed. And so I don't have a farm, unfortunately, but hey, what are you going to do?
The idea for Atlantic City is actually a good one. Ocean City has their niche, right?
Yeah.
America's no alcohol sold or served.
Yeah.
Atlantic City has to find its way.
Well, it was always
America's. It's not going to find its way with the current leadership.
It was always
can I refer to him as by his number?
Listen, we're going to stay away from that one.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to stay away from that.
I've been calling that for months, have I not?
I mean, listen, I will ruffle feathers. Those are feathers I'm just going to let ruffle themselves.
Okay.
But
all right,
it would. I was saying AC was always America's playground. Make it America's playground. Problem is they're doing that now. AC's doing that now. They're trying to get corridors and places where you can have these kind of shops, but it's just going completely unregulated, or
they're doing it the wrong way, the way they do everything.
Yeah.
Right.
It's amazing how
since 1976 they've managed to sparkle everything up. Dude.
Yeah. Oh well. All
right. So moving on, I know you have a couple shout outs. I wanted to give one shout out.
Just one? Wow.
Yeah, just one.
Light day here today. I have two. I actually have more than you.
So as you know, and I'm sure everyone knows at this point, there was a bad car on bicycle accident last night, Friday night, the 19th, at 18th and Bay. And I wanted to give a shout out to all those affected by that tragic accident. Not only the bicyclist and the driver of the car, but the kids who were with the bicyclist, the kids who were with the driver of the car, the policeman, the firemen, anyone else on scene. It was horrific. It was tragic. And I feel for anyone who was involved. And I just wanted to, kind of send good vibes out to everyone involved.
Agreed. Now I have to follow that up, Drew. We should have let me go first, because my shout outs are very trivial when someone's life is, someone's.
Maybe it's a good positive turn.
All right. Well, it is a good positive turn. I'll start with the one shout out that I wanted to give to someone who's not from Ocean City, someone who was trained by an Ocean City resident, a gentleman by the name of Destin Lasco. He grew up in Linwood. He swam with and learned how to swim with Dimitar Petrov, longtime Ocean City resident, Ocean City lifeguard, great open water swimmer.
I coached his son, as you know.
Yes. And Destin, this past month, became the 200-meter individual medley champion at the NCAA level. And this kid's going to be swimming this summer. Good, strong chance he'll be swimming this summer in Paris. So
wow, the Olympics.
Yeah, shout out to him. I want to give him a shout out too, because not only is he an amazing athlete, he is one of the most humble and just good people I've ever come across. For someone at that level, the thing that always stuck out to me was the way he genuinely said thank you to Dimitar every day he got out of the pool. Every single time. He would spend 15, 20 minutes talking to Dimitar, asking him how he's doing, just genuinely having conversations with him. And then he would always genuinely thank him every single time. I mean, this kid would come and train in the pool in Pleasantville, and we would have the Pleasantville swim team. These kids, God bless their hearts, they're like 14, 15, learning how to swim, and swimming against kids like Destin, who swim for mainland, who've been swimming their whole lives. This kid would do things that, I'd never even seen. Like, he would put 3 or 4 bungees on his back, and he would swim 25 meters with 3 bungees worth of resistance. Like, the things this kid could do in the pool were unbelievable.
Wow.
But the things he did out of the pool and off the pool, and the person and the way he carried himself is what really stuck out to me, and why I wanted to give him a shout out now that he's achieved some success. So he's achieved, individual success at that level. He's been a 4-time NCAA champion in relays and things like that. He swims for Cal. They're a powerhouse swim program. But he got that in the individual success. So shout out to him.
That's great. Deserved. That's good stuff.
And
while we're on that, I'm just, you brought up something that happened today. I was coming home and I got a call out of the blue from a kid who I coached, started coaching in indoor soccer at 5 years old. And I coached him in varying sports, football, baseball, hockey, through high school. And he's a great kid. He's an awesome kid. And he called me today out of the blue, and he wanted to thank me for being in his life, being a positive influence in his life. And he told me he loved me, and he was very appreciative for my support of him through his life. And he had a little bit of a difficult time, and he was just a great kid. So I always, he was always in my son's posse. I always included him in everything we did. And he gave me a call today and thanked me for it. And just good feeling when you hear from a kid that you coach that you had a positive influence on.
Yeah, man. It's the reason you do it, and you often never know. So, if I always see a teacher or someone I had, I was like, hey man, just want to let you know, here's what I remember from hanging out with you. But my second shout out, you got 36 days till Memorial Day. Probably a little less when this airs. One of the things that I see all the time on our social media board on Facebook and in some of the groups is, hey, who is going to do my changeover cleaning? Who can clean for me? Who can do all this? Super popular thread. Always looking for a cleaner. I want to give a shout out to Ocean City Clean, my buddy Kevin Kelly. They do a great job Great team there. Kevin's a great guy, always willing to, go the extra mile, make sure that your place is ready for your next tenant. Incredible attention detail, incredible customer service, always willing to make it right. So if you're looking for a changeover cleaner, reach out to Ocean City Clean. You can find them on Facebook. You can Google them. Gave me this cool hat. This is what their logo looks like.
You give them a shout out. I think we should both get hats. Yo, Kevin.
I do have another hat for you, actually, Drew. I do.
Yep. Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Kevin dropped off too. He knows what's up. He doesn't mess
around. All right, Kevin.
Yeah. I took the one that I like better though. So. But,
of course.
Well, I got the first dibs.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, listen. Go ahead. Did you come up with another shout out?
No, I'm gonna.
Oh, you're gonna make fun of me a little bit more?
No. I'm gonna keep.
Hey, I'm trying to be succinct. I dropped you off a little present today.
You know what? I was going to say it, but I held my tongue just for brevity. Right. Yeah. Dom went to the sports memorabilia show today at the music pier. Right?
Met Mike Quick.
Mike Quick, Mark Howe, and who's the third guy?
There was a third guy. There was a Flyers player, a bigger Flyers player. I don't remember who.
Mark Howe.
I want to say Scott Hartnell, maybe.
Oh, Scotty Hartnell was there. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, I have to tell you, you were there, and I'm telling you who was there. Anyway.
Well, I didn't see him. I stayed for Mike Quick, and then I went to the rides.
Okay. So Dom was nice enough to buy me a couple of really nice Eagles tumblers. And
that's right. And they're silicone, so you can, when you're getting all saucy out by the pool, you don't have to worry about dropping your cup. Now that you're a little older and your hands are a little more rickety, you don't have to worry about dropping it.
Wow.
You'll be good.
Wow. I'm getting myself a senior care lawyer. I'm offended.
Well, you should.
No, thank you, Don. That was very thoughtful of you. I appreciate it.
No, well, you're the only person. I love them. You're the only person in Ocean City that has their pool open right now. So
it's not heated though.
Still, it's mid-April. You got your pool open.
Yeah,
good for you. So, well, anyway, when we come back, we'll get into the topic of today's episode. Sunny Side Up, the best breakfast in Ocean City. There's no shortage of breakfast spots here in town, and Drew and I are going to go through and let you know which ones we think are tasty. Well, they're all tasty.
They're all tasty. We'll break them down a little bit, though.
Break them down a little bit. All right. We'll talk to you here on the other side. All right, and we're back. So, Drew, let's get into it. Sunny Side Up, best breakfast in Ocean City. I'm going to put this out there right here, flat out. Personally, for me, the best breakfast spot in Ocean City closed a few years ago, and that was the Surf Cafe. That, to me, was the best breakfast in Ocean City. That, got me hooked on going out to breakfast. Chef Mike and his wife Debbie did an amazing job there. The food was great, always fresh, always awesome, super consistent. More so they created an ambiance of you were eating at their house and hanging out. The restaurant would be full. Chef Mike's out there saying hi to everybody. Debbie would always be like, "Oh, your kids are getting so big." The amount of pancakes that I cleaned up off the floor of that place from when my kids were little, I could probably, fill a dumpster. So when that place closed down, that was the tough one. Great food, great home fries. Their home fries were so good. But that's what I'm going to say because, that one's not there. It's off the table. But that to me was always the best breakfast in Ocean City.
Right off the bat, you're going.
Well, I got to give the shout out right away, because, things have changed. The breakfast in itself has evolved.
Yes.
It's no longer just eggs, toast, pancakes, waffles, French toast. there's all kinds of stuff going on, and people are getting creative.
Well,
as
and you're
breakfast
right.
has become more of a meal that people go out to.
So, but not always, right? So
No,
the way we broke this down, because there's a lot of breakfast places in Ocean City, and who makes the best eggs is is a matter of taste, right? So we broke down the breakfast places into three categories, right? Old school, right, which is old school. Expanded menu, and that's where you're talking about, how it's really quite a few. There's 5 places on that list that offer some really sometimes extravagant breakfast options. And then there's ambiance, and for the most part, that's beach and bayfront restaurants. So I think that's a good way to categorize them, right?
Yeah,
Or one way. Anyway, it's an arbitrary way, but it's one way. So let's start with old school. In that category, we have Reddy's.
Of course, he wants to start with old school.
Yeah, of course I do. I might check out of the show after old school and let you run with it.
Please don't, because I did
Reddy's,
not do research.
Varsity, Uncle Bill's, Augie's, and Kessel's Corner. Those are the old school breakfast places in town. Now,
so that's where you're going to get your eggs, potatoes, your toast, your home fries,
French
sausage,
French toast. Yep.
Yeah, your Western omelets, your meat and cheese,
cream dried beef on toast.
Ooh, one of Drew's favorites. That's where you're going to get that kind of stuff.
Well, we're going to get to that in the second category, actually.
So,
yeah.
But
so, as you know, Dom, you came out strong for Surf Cafe.
Well, it's not there anymore. You got to pay. You got to give shout out to the OGs.
So, when you die and you go to heaven, there will be Surf Cafe for breakfast, and there will be Vault Tacos for dinner.
That'd be amazing.
And you are going to heaven. We all know that.
Maybe. So jury's still out. We'll see. We'll see.
So, as you know, I've mentioned this before. I started going to Reddy's in 1982. And at the time, it was a different owner, previous owner, Bob. And he had 3 daughters. And I became friends with the daughters. And I have been going back to Reddy's ever since. So since 1982, do the math.
And eating the same meal.
So that's right. I started out with one meal, and it was so good. I continued to have the same meal. And now, after this long a time, I'm sorry, I'm suffering a little bit from allergies. It's been 42 years that I've been having the same breakfast, and always the same, always consistent, never disappoints. And Reddy's is a joint, man. Reddy's.
Oh, it's a shop. It's old school, 100%.
Old school.
Even like the decorations in there, old school. The mirrors on the wall, super old school.
Now, having said that, it is. I mean, they have a milkshake maker from the 60s or something. Now, having said that, the other restaurants in the old school category, Varsity, excellent. Uncle Bill's, excellent. Augie's, excellent. Kessel's Corner, excellent. So the old school category has some really, really prized restaurants for breakfast.
100% agreed. Kessel's Corner, you're not going to leave Kessel's Corner. You're probably not going to eat lunch if you go to Kessel's Corner.
Right.
Definitely not.
And you went to Augie's recently, right?
I did go to Augie's recently. My standard breakfast, wherever I go, is pork roll and cheese, pork roll, cheese, onion omelet, and white toast, home fries, and a side of scrapple. Every time. That's what I get when I go. And
you bring your
Lucy,
own IED or?
No, I don't. I save that. I have it at home. We I bought Lucy with me, and Lucy got waffles, and omelet was really good at Augie's. The waffles, though, like it's called an omelet and waffle house, and these waffles were unbelievable. They were like the best waffles I've ever had in my life, like
Really?
hands down. They were so good. Like,
so let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
were they magical?
They were pretty damn close to saying they were magical. Yeah,
wow.
They were.
Okay, that's high praise.
Yeah, like they were light, they were fluffy, they had great flavor. Like sometimes you can get dry waffles. They were perfectly cooked. They were awesome waffles for sure.
Good stuff.
And where else? Uncle Bill's, classic. Got those all over the island. Always jamming, always busy. Great family there.
Great family.
Runs that.
Yes.
Very generous, always helping out in the community.
Yes.
I think they partnered with Naughty Donuts or something, or I don't know what's going on there. I don't want to overspeak.
It's the same family. Uncle Bill's, Aunt Betty's, and Naughty Donuts.
We won't get into Aunt Betty's. We're gonna leave Aunt Betty for a whole different. She's a whole different show. She's a show in and of her own.
I think you gained weight just talking about it.
There's a possibility. I'm definitely gonna go there as soon as it opens the first day. Surfer Dude Sunday, man.
Now that same family is building the golf course at 34th and Asbury.
Okay.
It's not open yet. It'll open, I believe, this summer because it looks pretty. Went by today.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. Wish them well. I think that's an attraction down at the south end that is sorely needed. And and I hope I'm sure they're going to. I think they're going to knock it out of the park there. And it looks great. Looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. It looks cool. I saw some of the drone pictures the other day. It looks pretty neat.
Yeah.
So very cool.
And getting back to Augie's, also very, very generous. In the community. Anna Augsburger. I probably didn't pronounce that right. Anna Marie Augsburger. During COVID, when we were providing meals for the school kids, they were one of the restaurants that were just super generous. And they were all but closed during COVID, and here they are giving meals to people that were hungry. So when you're a business in that position during COVID and you're still thinking about others, got to give them a shout out.
Especially if you're giving those kids waffles, man. Those waffles were. These kids are going to be like, I never want to get out of lockdown getting these waffles. And the one bright spot of the whole thing. But
all right, so
man, those are some great restaurants.
They are.
Not only are they old school, they're Ocean City old school. Families have traditions to go in all those places, every summer for generation after generation after generation. And they do that because, like you said, consistent, old school, good food.
And all great people, just great people. Every one of those family-owned businesses are great people.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into the next one. All
right, the next one, calling it, for lack of a better term, expanded menu, right? So something.
What about bougie breakfasts?
Bougie breakfast.
Bougie breakfast.
I like it. Well, it's not always the case, but we'll go with that. Go with that. All right. So on this list, we have Yanni's. We have Hooked on Breakfast. We have Asbury Kitchen. We have John and Patty's. And we have the Green Eggs Cafe. So they all offer a variety of different, a little bit different take on the average breakfast, right? Yanni's has a little bit of a Greek flair, hooked on breakfast. So my what really hooked me on hooked on breakfast was not the last time I was there, but the time before that. They had a special. This is getting back to the cream dry beef on toast, Dom. They had a special that was cream dry beef with chorizo on home fries.
Ooh.
And
You had me at chorizo, Drew.
let me tell you
for
something.
Chorizo.
It was off the hook on breakfast.
That was a bad joke. That was bad.
Horrible, but I had to.
Horrible.
I couldn't
No,
help
you could have not, Drew, and everyone would have been better for it.
I probably shouldn't have, but I did. So
listen,
yeah.
Hooked on breakfast, scrapple nuggets.
Ooh.
Awesome. Very good.
So I want to live past 65 so I don't eat scrapple. But I might try that.
You get one life, Drew. You get one life. Like scrapple nuggets.
You also get one heart, my friend.
Once a quarter aren't going to hurt you.
Once a quarter. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Once a quarter.
Everything in moderation.
I'm not eating scrapple nuggets every day. I could and I would if possible, but no. But no, the specials that Hooked on Breakfast, there was always like four specials they have are always out of the park. And
out of the park.
So is a lot of the other stuff on there too, on their menu. You could really go and get something different every time and never be disappointed. Like you though, I often just get sucked into the specials because it's like, oh wow, this sounds really, really, really good.
Right.
And
again, awesome owners, really nice people.
Yeah.
The staff in there is just super, super nice. I mean, it's just like one of those places that's a pleasure to go into.
Yeah, very nice, good ambiance there. Definitely trying to take the spot of Surf Cafe, I would say for me. But just gotta wait and see.
And then you also have John and Patty's, and they have some really interesting things on their menu, and they're great people. And you can sit outside at John and Patty's in the nicer weather.
They have the upstairs too, which is pretty cool.
That's the club, right?
They'll do breakfast up there too.
Oh, will they?
And they have Earl's Coffee Bar in there. That's like, they have really, really great coffee there.
Yeah, I get a caffeine kick just smelling it.
Yeah, he's a magician with the latte for sure.
Yeah. So John and Patty's, I mean, they're they really do it up pretty nice. Yanni's was kind of, for me, it could have fallen into the old school, but because they offer some different things, I put it into this category.
Yeah, they have some pretty good French toasts and things like that are pretty.
Yeah. But Yanni's is a restaurant that, I mean, it's almost like a model, right? It's clean, always clean as a whistle. The staff is always dressed nice. The staff is very nice and friendly and helpful. They have a huge menu, all kinds of different offerings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's good quality. It's always quality food.
Yeah, the food there is always very good.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's anything at Yanni's that is like crazy good, like the meal I had at Hooked, but it's just so good and quality and consistent that you got to mention them.
Yeah, and then across from John and Patty's, you have the Asbury Kitchen, kind of to steal one of Drew's bad jokes, the new kid on the block. Family bought out Arlene's on Asbury, which was there forever. Did some renovations, took over, upgraded the inside, Great family, good food, still consistent. Always enjoyed it. Again, one of those places where if you go there, you're probably not going to eat lunch, and you might even need to take a nap on the beach when you're done. Got beautiful outdoor seating on the avenue too, so definitely a spot to check out. Also very generous family, always giving back to the kids. So, Asbury Kitchen. What other one are we missing here, Drew? In this,
the one that we're missing is one that I've never been to, and I know that you've never been to, is the Green Eggs Cafe.
No, that was new last year or maybe the year before.
I think last year.
Yeah.
I wanted to include them. I'm sorry.
They have a couple restaurants in the Philly area or in Philly.
Yes.
And
I've heard great things. I looked at their menu, and it's they definitely fall into this category.
Yeah, 100%.
Expanded menu. They're not just bacon and eggs for sure. And I've heard good things, but I haven't been there. You haven't been there, so let's get there.
Yeah, definitely. And if hey, we're supposed to have a meeting this week, maybe after they're open. I don't know if they're open, but maybe we can have it there.
That's a great idea. I'm always up for a good breakfast meeting.
Yes, always.
So the final category, we called this ambiance or location, right? So these are the beach, boardwalk, bayfront, and one other. So they would be Oves, Browns, Adelaine's at the Portico, the Cafe Beach Club on the boardwalk, On the Way Cafe, which is a little different. It's a food truck at the airport. The Sandhouse Kitchen, which is no longer sitting in the sand. It's in the process of being raised. I walk by it with Lulu every day, and interesting process. I can't wait to see that thing go up in the air because it doesn't look like it's going to make it, but hopefully it does. And then you have Dockside on the bay, and you have Litterers on the boardwalk.
Yep. Litterers breakfast sandwich, awesome. If you're there if you're on the boardwalk and you're riding your Surrey and you need something quick before you get home, great stop. Get a good breakfast sandwich at Litterers.
All right, so I had a subcategory of breakfast sandwich, and
I don't get breakfast. I don't get a breakfast sandwich when I go out to eat for breakfast. I'm just saying that.
Well, I don't get it when I sit down, but I'll do takeout breakfast sandwich, and I'm not sure.
There's only one place to get a takeout breakfast sandwich from in this area, and it's not on the island.
And I disagree, my friend. Yanni's breakfast sandwich is.
Well, they use hot bagels.
Yes,
that's the only thing. You got to have the hot bagel.
It is hot bagels. Hot bagels and more. They got away from it for about a month.
Yeah,
and they came back to it because I'm sure there was 1,000 of me out there saying, "What are you doing, man? You got to have hot bagels and more." So Yanni's.
Only place to get a breakfast sandwich, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So
Yanni's is
actually shout out to 4th Street Cafe. They have a very, very good breakfast sandwich. If you want to check them out, but it doesn't come on a bagel. It comes on like a wheat toast, and John makes this like special 4th Street sauce that's really good.
Okay.
So yeah, that's another good breakfast sandwich spot and good coffee too. But no, back to ambiance and these beautiful locations.
Beautiful locations, Oves, Browns. Yeah. So
I think that one of the best things about Browns is that if you get a table, you can skip the donut line and get donuts at the table. That's one of the benefits of sitting down at Browns. 100%.
That's a big Benny.
Yeah, and you have while you have this beautiful menu, you beautiful view and beautiful location, you do have that old school menu.
Yes.
Yes. Old school menu. Same thing at Oves, beautiful location, getting that old school menu.
Yeah.
you know, what's the one in the Ocean Club? What's that called again?
In the Ocean Club.
The hotel, the one you were talking about, the Ocean.
Oh, in the Portico, it's
No,
Adelaide.
not the one in the motel down.
Cafe Beach Club?
Yes, Cafe Beach Club. That is very good. I've been there a few times. That's a good quality spot. One of my buddies, Ken, he worked there for a while. I'm not sure if he's still there, but that's a good spot. Great
And
French toast there.
Adelaine's is a little change of pace. It's not, because it's in the hotel and it's kind of a destination,
Yeah,
as opposed to, like Browns or O's right on the boardwalk or, Varsity or Reddy's. It's got a different vibe. It's got more like a upscale, restaurant type vibe, but you're still sitting right on the beach, overlooking the Portico pool and the ocean and the pier. That's a great spot. Adelaide's a good spot.
nice.
And another one on the list is the On the Way Cafe. So as you mentioned, that is used to be Arlene's. Arlene now has the food truck down at the airport because the airport diner closed down. And anything that Arlene is involved in is going to be good, right? So that's a great spot, kind of tucked away down there on Bay Avenue at the airport.
I'll tell you what, the pancakes at that airport cafe, they did not disappoint.
The airport cafe was dynamite. So the airport cafe for the longest time was run by Augie's. That
makes sense.
Yeah, that was Augie's.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
and then you have the dockside, which is on the bay, and
yes,
that's a neat little spot. And I've eaten there several times, and it does not disappoint.
Yes, that's one of the. If you want true like waterfront dining in Ocean City, that's your spot. You're literally sitting above the water. You can see everything. It's a cool time for breakfast too, because the marinas are busy. People are getting out, getting moving in the morning. They have a lot of good like seafood inspired breakfasts too.
Yes.
Get some crabs on your eggs.
They have a crab meat omelet, which I had, and it was pretty darn good.
Oh, I think you could put crab on anything and you can't go wrong.
I'm with you.
I was in Baltimore on Friday and I went to this place and got the touristy Baltimore club sandwich. It was a crab cake, bacon, shrimp salad, lettuce, tomato. It was a good time.
Would that set you back, Dom?
That lunch, just myself. It was quite an expensive lunch. Let's leave it at that. It was.
You don't want Corinne to know. I heard that.
You think Corinne listens to this? Come on, man. She does not listen to this. No, I got that, and I got 2 appetizers, and I bought some I bought some of the appetizers home. They had these really great Amish pretzels with some beer cheese, and they had these buffalo fried pickles that were amazing. I don't know why I saved those for the kids.
Dude, I don't know why you saved them for the kids either.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
come on, we're partners.
These are out of this world. But no, It was like
right over me.
I think with tip, the lunch was like $80. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty then.
For table for one. But hey, man, I was in Baltimore. I was celebrating. Got my car back. It's all good now. Dealer did me right. LF Autos down in Baltimore. If you need a used luxury vehicle, good time. But anyway, back to what we were talking about.
So we have one little minor category and a little bit of cleanup. The minor category is new restaurants, which the only one that comes to mind is Maria's Cafe. I don't remember where it is. It's 9th and Central, I believe. 9th
Oh,
and
it
Central.
used to be Ocean City Cafe. It
Yes.
just changed hands
Yes.
in the past 2 months.
Yes. So apparently Maria was the chef at another restaurant, and the name of the restaurant escapes me, but it's something you would know. I can't remember what it is. And people rave about her and her food and her quality and everything. So it's not open yet, to my knowledge. Or I'm sorry, it did open. It did just open.
Open.
Yeah, it just opened in the past 2 weeks. I have not been there. Have you?
No, I
No.
saw that it was changing hands.
Yeah, so we haven't been there, so we can't comment. But I've heard good things. I wish them well. I hope they have a lot of success. So Maria's Cafe at 9th and Central. The breakfast sandwich we already covered. And Dom, I guarantee you, there are breakfast joints that you and I have forgotten. I tried to do my research, but as we all know, I'm human and I fail sometimes. Just like the 8th Street electric train bridge that I overlooked. I'm sure there are breakfast places that I have overlooked.
No, but it's funny because without having alcohol for sale at dinner, to sustain a dinner restaurant is hard because your margins aren't that great. Breakfast, though, it's a little bit more doable. And I think that's why you have such a wide range of breakfast and lunch places here on the island, and that's
and
good.
they're all good. I mean, I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever had a bad breakfast in a city, honestly. And they're all different, right? So if you want old school, you want to go to, Reddy's or the Varsity, that's you're getting a solid meal, right? You want something a little different, you want to go to Hooked on Breakfast, you want to go to Yanni's, you're getting a solid meal, right? You want to sit on the bay or on the beach, you want to go to Dockside, you want to go to you're getting a good breakfast. It's a different vibe.
Yeah, it's a great time. It's
and I'm a huge breakfast fan. So
same.
Another reason I love living in Ocean City.
Favorite meal to go out for is breakfast, hands down.
Same
dinner,
here.
I don't know. Well, it depends on where you're going for dinner. Actually, I like to eat all meals out. Cooking is, I can cook, but if someone's going to make it for me, they're definitely going to do it better. The amount of times I've tried to make a decent pork roll and cheese omelet with onion at home and just been disappointed because it's not like, the Varsity or somewhere else.
Yeah, there's something about it. Yeah,
Or Hooked on Breakfast. It's like, all right, man. No.
Yeah.
So, well, in 36 days, Drew, it's going to be a lot harder to get into these places. So if you are a native or a local, get out while you can and enjoy, because soon we'll be welcoming the Airbnbers and the day trippers and the weekly renters. But that's a good thing. It'll be nice to have some people back. Even today on the boardwalk, we went over and there was a lot of people in town.
Yeah, I was up there. Playland is open. They had a good crowd going. There's a lot of people up in the afternoon. The morning, talk about a tale of two cities. I mean, this morning was, gray, overcast, wet, cold, and this afternoon was sunny and beautiful. And there was a lot of people up on the boardwalk.
Would have been a great day to go out for breakfast. Definitely would have been.
Would have been a great day to go out for breakfast.
Awesome. Well, be sure to check out those places. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment below. Let us know what your favorite breakfast place is. And if we missed you, we truly apologize.
Yes.
Reach out
to us. Please let us know. We'll give you a shout out. We've probably been to your restaurant, and we apologize that if we didn't include you today.
Awesome. Well, thanks as always, everyone, for tuning in. This has been the OCNJ Local, your podcast for everything happening here in America's greatest family resort. We're your hosts, Dominick Dougherty and Drew Fasy.
And Dom is on point tonight. And we are your local guys.